feel like there is an entry level in this industry at all?
In the off-road?
Now that you're here, what advice would you give someone that wants to get into off-road racing for the first time?
Wow, that's a tough question. Do it. Fuck it. You only live once. It's just money. If it's what's going to blow your skirt up and make you happy, then go do it.
That's the best thing you could have said.
It's got to mount to this flat now. It's got to mount from a flat that's this way to this way. So it's just fine. It just means that one of them, whichever one you decide.
Financially, how unrealistic is it to do something like this for the first time?
Financially, there's a whole bunch of like old, cliches about racing, and it's how do you make a small fortune in racing? You start with a large fortune, right? Racing is massively checkbook oriented.
Do you feel like there is an entry level in this industry at all?
I want to say no. Like you could go race Baja, right? The guy from Australia just came over, bought a motorcycle in San Diego, drove it across the border and raced Baja. So yes, the answer is yes. There is entry level racing that is low buck and you can go have fun. And the guy killed it. He did really well. He finished top 10 or something, right? So yes, the answer is yes. If you want to ride a motorcycle, if you want to race in anything above that, like the movie Days of Thunder, there ain't nothing stock about a stock car, right? We're racing in stock class and
nothing stock about it.
I mean, we have the frame, the body, the original engine block, and the transmission case. That's the only thing that's stock on that thing. So whatever.
Yeah.
Stock means it has to look stock. That's all stock means in all realities. It has to look stock.
Yeah.
So I feel super lucky that we're able to work with companies who've been really generous to us. PRP, Method Wheels, Nitto Tires, Revolution Gear and Axle, but we certainly don't have anybody writing us a check yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not to diminish our sponsors who are giving us product. The product is amazing and we can't wait to use it. And it's very helpful to not have to pay full price for wheels or tires. But sometimes, there's entry fees, there's gas, there's food for your team, there's just all the things that have to happen that it's just a cash donation, right? And so when you're looking at sponsors, don't get, my advice if we're talking about sponsors is don't get too distracted with the shiny things that you're going to get, that you need to get some cash sponsors. If you can get the sponsors, that's going to make it a lot easier for you. Either you've got to be just wealthy, right? And have a lot of guys who do it are doing it as a massive write-off, right? They're actually using their money from their very successful business to do this and sponsor their own team. And it's a massive write-off. And so they're just, instead of giving the money to Uncle Sam, they give it to their race team. We're not the McMillans. We're not there yet. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
We got the support that we have by just simply putting ourselves out there on social media and advocating for ourselves and just asking. You're never going to get anything if you don't ask. So the first step is literally just ask, because you never know.
So something that I think is super important to point out is that you are doing all of this while still working a full-time job and running a full-time shop. That must be difficult.
It's stressful. It's not insurmountable. I mean, people have done way more difficult things, but it's stressful and money gets tight. And at some point you just have to take a deep breath and say, I'm all in, whatever, let's go race. And you just do it.
You have to commit.
You have to commit.
WFO's theory here, I guess, is just keeping this torque arm anti-wrap bar as close to, so on the passenger side to counteract the torque or whatever, and then as close to the center section as possible. Hopefully, I'm thinking that we can shoot this in line. This is parallel with this face, the mounting holes are, but then the actual anti-wrap bar will go up more in the area of where the pinion is because it's on a little shackle, you know?
Right.
But hopefully, with it being the same length as like the drive shaft here, I mean, I'm assuming that that's not going to affect drive shaft plunge at that point, you know?
Right. Form follows function, right? Form follows function. Just keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. And eventually you'll have a car in the end. So we have a broad idea of what we want, and then now we're fine-tuning it as we go. So it's a little bit of a process. It's hard to describe. I don't know if you've seen the timer counter in there, but it's counting down.
You purchased a countdown clock.
Yes, because I've been in this position before, and as you start getting closer to the date, the timeline you've given yourself, we've given ourselves a pre-running date, preliminary pre-running date of New Year's. So yeah, I want everybody to walk in every day and see it and get stressed out just like me and want to work on it. There's no better reminder than a digital countdown clock telling you you're 19 days away from failing. So for other race teams, this may not be a lot of money. I mean, this is technically a budget build in the race world. This is a cheap build. But I think not counting labor, because everybody's donating their time to this, and so we don't count labor at all in this, just parts and the price of the vehicle and all the parts we need to get this, including the paint and everything, lug nuts, all of it, is going to be right around $60,000. So you want to go race Everyman 4600 and build a car that's competitive, you know, plan on spending some bucks. So if someone was to come to me tomorrow and say, hey, Dave, I want Bent Motorsports to build me a 4600 CJ7, we'd have to add labor into that. So you're looking at a $100,000 vehicle, easy. If not, you know, $120,000 just to get a competitive vehicle in 4600 class. I want this to showcase what we're capable of. And this Jeep, if anything, is going to show people what Bent Motorsports can do. You know, our attention to detail and all that.